Hello and welcome everyone back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, where last time we arrived in Garlemald and I had the chance to play a little bit while Amy was streaming and finished up the quest line for the role quest line for Magic DPS, which means my Red Mage got his outfit from Shadowbringers, and I gotta say, I love this thing. This looks so freaking cool. This is a Red Mage. Unfortunately, I'm still level 81, and and this is 100 weaker than my current equipment, so it's not going to do the job. So we're going to be back to Dragoon, but I still wanted to show off, you know, the progress we made. Fittingly enough, I guess, this is our Dragoon look. So we're back to where we are. But yes, we're here. We're back for some more. We're back for some more Endwalker. And of course, I got Amy with me. She's just finishing up her Japanese lessons. And then we'll be good to go. Sorry for the late start. Kai was not... Kai was just not getting to sleep that well. Let's see. Sorry, I'm also talking with Daniel because he's working on a thumbnail for something I'm doing. So... for GVG, so I apologize for that. I'm just distracted on all ends. Oh no, Kai just didn't want to go to bed at all. All right, sorry about this. Now we should be good. Anyway, yes, we're in Garlemald. It's cold. And we're finally getting a chance to explore this place. Of course, we got all of our friends over here hanging out, trying to keep warm, all that fun stuff. Glad everybody could make it here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But yeah, let's, we still want to make some progress, so let's not waste any more time and get to our next quest. Gotta talk to Manuelane. Well, that's the thing. He was getting a little stubborn at first, and then, yeah, we had to have a little talk. But after that, he certainly did better. All right, let's do it. What ho, chums? Been given something to do, have you? As it happens, I too have been ordered to make myself useful. Sounds like a rather tall order. Since you ask, we're to scour the Emblem Rhyme for survivors. For Sayo.
Oh, I just realized I don't have sound. What do I do?
Are you? Oh, you're not plugged in on the other side. You must have unplugged it another time. What? Wander around ice fields on the off chance you'll find someone. You'd take forever to finish the job without the benefit of my expertise, or more specifically, my telescope. Come, friends, I know just the spot to begin our search. I'll probably regret this, but we may as well humor him. From the tropics of not India to the Chile Empire. Real quick as well, how is our sound levels? Everything looking, sounding good and all that? Seems fine? Excellent. Glad to hear. I thought that said oblivious at first. Oh, yeah. Next week's episode is definitely back to a long one, lass. Don't you worry about that. But, you know, it's fun. It's fun to talk about. Honestly, the hour 20 minutes mark might be our new length. It's intense. I spy with my little telescope a massive sheep thing. Maybe it's a cow. Not what we're after, either way. Is that an ether current? No, just a wind sprite. Other than that, it's all snow, snow, snow. But lo, what do I see over there, over yon hillock? There's no mistaking it. That's a girl. A survivor? Show me. Over there, behind that tree. It looks like she's running away from something, though surely not us. She wouldn't even know we're here unless she had a telescope like mine. All I can tell is that she's wearing a pale green dress, a rather fetching one at that. She'll be long gone by the time we get anywhere near, but we should be able to follow her footprints. I'll let Lucia know where you're heading. Oh, and take these warming tinctures with you. The poor girl must be chilled to the bone, if not on the verge of freezing to death. That's actually very thoughtful. Thank you. But won't you need some for yourself? No, I'll be fine. As a man of chivalry, my honor demands I do no less. And lest we forget, the very reason we're here is to protect those in need. Now go, and Godspeed. Alright. Let's go rescue this girl in the fetching dress. As just another reminder for those who might just be joining and didn't see crosscode. What's that? I did not. Where are you at?
You're in the bullets, right?
Yeah. Are you with everybody else?
I don't know where anyone else.
Are you? Did you not world travel?
I road traveled. But I don't see anyone. Wait, is that someone right there? I didn't buy the main house that we were at.
Yeah, I'm going back to where.
You can add me in your group and then you see my dot.
Okay, hold on. Oh wait, I think Sayo has to do that. Sayo, if you can invite Amy to the party, make sure she's actually in Diabolos, so we can find her.
Oh, I see someone. I see people. I'm right up here. Do you see me? Look up this mountain.
Yeah. There you are. Hello. Ether current. Always good to have.
Why am I not? Oh, I don't have to look.
Oh, you did a lookout. Oh my gosh.
I was like, I'm not obtaining it. I gotta click on it.
Oh my gosh, Amy.
Wait, who's got the phone? Let's try.
I think that's Cloud Strife in the chat. Zamasu. Alright. Let's follow these footprints. As the overboast comes for me. Oh, not there. Aha, there it is. Towards the building. Alright, let's do it. Yeah, I want Hades 2 on console, so I have to resist, but I've heard really good things. I've heard it's better than the original, and that's impressive. According to the label here, this place was used by those involved with extracting ceruleum. Ooh, donut dippers. Those sound yummy. We're getting... Oh, really? Footprints in the Snow was the name of Shiva's first phase theme? Oh, that's fun. Let's see. We're getting closer, I'm sure of it. At first, we thought she'd gone inside the building, but the door doesn't look to have opened in some time. She might still be nearby, so we'll keep looking around here. Then again, it's also possible that she ran right past this place. Would you mind searching up ahead? Gregster up to 88,000. Nice. That's exciting. Oh, the Eblin Rhine is one of the regions in the area. It is named after the kingdom of Eblin from Final Fantasy IV, Home of Edge. I forgot what the name of his kingdom was. The girl in the green dress anxiously surveys her surroundings. Were you to call out to her from this distance, it might attract wild beasts to your location. It'd be safer to get closer, but you must do so without drawing her attention. Oh, I'm sure it'll scare the heck out of her. Oh my gosh. So I gotta follow behind without getting caught.
There we go.
What?
We got 4 of our, whatever these things are called.
Ah, dang it, I lost. I thought I had to approach her, but apparently, no, you just need to actually get to where she's going.
I traded an Archon loaf for all the stuff that Garlean is giving me.
Oh my gosh. Let's try this again. At first I thought I had to like just get close enough that I could actually approach her, but no, it's just follow behind. Take it nice and slow. Totally inconspicuous with all these other friends around.
No one will notice.
She's gonna spot Vandal. Nope. Vandal's just in her imagination. Especially that elephant.
How do you know if you're hidden?
You just have to stay behind. You don't know if you're hidden. Just sort of keep yourself behind things and you should be mostly good. It's not that strict. I just ran right up to it, which is why I failed. But you gotta wait till she gets to an actual destination. Somebody's depending on her. Or a lot of somebody's. Look like campers in the background. I know that. Actually, those look like the trains from Final Fantasy VIII. Weird. There we go. Now we can talk to her. Phew, still in one piece. Who are you? Stay back. This house is packed with explosives. Take another step and I'll blow this place sky high. Gosh, it is weird to see just... I'm so used to these hard-edged or evil-looking guys with the Garlean third eye. But to see just a normal woman. Please, we just want to talk.
Oh no, she saw me!
Uh-oh. She spotted you? Oh.
No.
Gotta go back. I'm Alphino. This is my sister Alea and our good friend Milan. We have no intention of hurting or taking anything from you or anyone else. I give you my word. We and our comrades have come to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. Aid? You savages are the ones responsible for all this. You did this to us. We didn't, I promise you. One of the other reasons we came was to find out what happened here, in fact. The Telophoroi are the ones to blame. They're the ones who laid waste to Garlemald and won't stop until they've destroyed the entire world. They're the enemy. Our enemy. Hey, Blade Blur. On our way, we encountered Imperial soldiers who had been made their thralls. Those poor souls are now in our care, and we are striving to cure them of their affliction. You're the first person we've met who wasn't already enslaved. How were you able to escape the Telophoroi's influence? Are there any others like you? I'm sorry, I don't mean to overwhelm you. Let's just start with introductions. Can you tell me your name? My name's Lucinia. As for how I've managed to stay sane, I've been asking myself the same question ever since that night and the roar, that terrible roar, and then the screams. I was screaming too, I think. I'm not sure. I can't remember. God, that is just depressing landscape. Then came this silence. Everything was still. It was like waking up from a nightmare. I thought that maybe the fighting had stopped, so I stepped outside.
I tried to get ahead of her and she saw me.
Just go from like spot to side.
I did, but I was walking like next to her, so
oh.
Not next, but I was getting impatient.
Gotta be patient. If your hells are real, I saw one that day. I ran, past friends, people I'd known all my life, eyes vacant, dead, staring at the sky. Others were mad and violent. I saw them struggle with soldiers, but didn't stay to watch. I fled as far as my legs would take me. Do you have family here? Is this their home? No, this is Victor's Spoils, a mansion for retired soldiers. Or it was, but now me and a few others are borrowing it. As for the explosives, I was making that up. I just wanted to keep everyone else safe, and I didn't know if you were... The truth is our supplies are running low. You said you're here to help. Can you? Of course, whatever assistance we can provide, we will. Thank you. I'd better tell the others first, though. Wait here. This is everyone. Lucinia says you can be trusted, but these are desperate times. We'd be fools to let foreign troops into our home. Having said that, were you to provide us with the means of heating the place as a sign of goodwill, perhaps we could take you at your word. If that is too much to ask, then leave us be. Time to put my firewood gathering skills to use. Could you provide the spark with a little magic, Alice? We'll have a fire burning in no time. Maybe build it under that gazebo. The what? Oh, you mean the bower? Yes, do as you will. She doesn't seem entirely trusting. New pants that I can't wear. Well, I could wear, but they're not as good. Sorry, I'm still finding it hard to come to terms with all that's happened. Now that you're here, though, I'm hoping things might change for the better. You know, I've worked up quite a sweat from all that running about, so I'll leave space around the fire for the others. As you can tell, they're in far worse state than me. We were planning to look for somewhere warmer or with more food, but they're not going anywhere until we nurse them back to health, which I don't know how to do. Is there anything you can do to help them? I don't know, let's find out. Interesting music. Vanilla the Rabbit, thank you very much for the raid. I'm playing some Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. How are you doing? Playing Suika game. I haven't heard that in a little bit. How'd that go? Did you win? Yes. Well, I don't think so, but either way. Now I do. Thank you. Hope you're doing well, Vanilla. I can treat their frostbite and their wounds, but it will take me some time. Take time for the fire to do its work. Now would be a good occasion to make use of Manulane's tinctures, the ones that can warm the body from the inside out. Would you make sure everyone gets one? But yeah, did you win? That's the question. I see them all fly about. Never played the game though. The numbness is beginning to subside, though I suspect once the fire dies, it will return with a vengeance. What the heck? The description of the warming tincture. Being gifts from the notoriously unreliable Emmanuelane, it is highly doubtful this concoction will have the intended effect. If only there were willing, and more importantly, unwitting volunteers on whom to test it. Jeez. Only got the watermelon one time. Hey, that's still one victory. Warming tincture? I've never heard of such a thing. No harm in trying. But tell me, have you heard aught of the city? Though calling it that seems absurd after what's happened. It's nothing but ruins now. The few buildings still standing offer no more than meager protection from wind and snow. Food production, water purification, the magic that sustained us has come to a grinding halt. Oh, I know they love to joke around with descriptions, but it's like, it makes it seem callous giving it to these people. What machina that remains operational cannot be run for the lack of ceruleum. Of course, cerulean ingens is full of the stuff for all the good it does us. No one here knows the first thing about extraction or refinement. Oh, what sweet libation is this? Is it poison by any chance? 'Twas a joke. If I laughed, it's that I may not weep, said the poet. And alas, my tears would freeze on my cheek ere they fall. We are the blessed damned, to bear witness to the fall of the great empire, while our brethren lie dead while our brethren lie dead, or live on as puppets of flesh. First came the war, then came the roar. When morning came, Garlemald was no more. In a cacophony of gunfire, explosions, and screams was our beloved capital razed to the ground. From the rubble rose the disheveled remnants, their lavish finery caked in ash as they shuffled mindlessly towards the palace, each bearing a fragment of stone or metal, an offering perhaps to the architect of our destruction. A hopeful few tried to reason with the deranged, only to be beaten for their kindness. But I knew better than to plead with the horde. I fled with my health, if not my conscience, preserved. Now I wait with my fellow cowards for our final judgment. Yeesh. Might as well drink it, I suppose. Oh, it is a radio. It's a radio. You don't have them where you come from, I take it. We use them to listen to messages sent by others, even over great distances. There are different types, but this model is by far the most popular. Made with quality components crafted with the finest ore, sourced from Locus Amonis, it is. Not all that useful since the capital fell into ruin. The people at the broadcasting station must have either fled or ended up like all the others, because all we've been hearing is the same music being played over and over again. Home Beyond the Horizon, an ode to the brave men and women sent to reclaim our ancestral home from Locus Amonis. We may have founded an empire in these frozen wastes, but we always hope to take back what was once ours. 'Tis a solemn reminder that though we must suffer great hardship, better days will surely come. Despite everything, I believe that Emperor Varus yet lives, and that he speaks to us through our radios. It was a cunning strategy faking his murder. He must have foreseen this catastrophe and chosen to conceal himself, that he may one day make his triumphant return. I highly doubt that. Yes, I'm sure of it. Emperor Varus would not be defeated so easily. Yeesh. Kind of easy to feel bad for the end of Garlemald with all the people suffering. What's that? I'm glad you're all ready for, well, another step ready for Comic-Con, Cadvi. So this is what you gave the others. Thank you. I'll save it for later. Actually, I have a few things to ask you. Are you part of the group staying in Laternum? I saw Legatus Virgilia's troops head towards the Magna Glacies a few days ago. Are you the ones that you encountered? Are they the ones you encountered? Camp Broken Glass, you call it. And Virgilia and her men are all there now. So how did you reach the Magna Glacies? Did you cross the mountains on foot? Airships. Then there might be a way to... Lucinia, where is everyone? Is something the matter? Who is that? A voice from inside, you say? You must be imagining things. Everyone's out here. Hey, Very Master Ninja, how's it going? Perhaps a baby Almasty has found its way into the house. It wouldn't be the first time. Without the soldiers to scare them off, wild animals have been roaming closer to the settlements. Some of you have been known to attack people too. I've just had an idea. If you and yours are strong enough to defeat a Legatus, then surely a few beasts shouldn't pose a threat. If you've a mind to continue helping us, perhaps you could head to the other side of the lake. There's a small group of tappers living there, people whose job was to extract ceruleum. They still do, from what we can tell. I'm glad your horrible day's over, VMN. Hopefully tomorrow's a better time. I've already tried asking if they would share their fuel with us, but they're not willing to give it away. They want food in exchange. Lots of food, and that's something we don't have and can't get on our own. On top of that, to even reach their den, we'd have to make our way past all those creatures. Would you be willing to go in our place? We only need enough ceruleum to last until the others are strong enough to travel to your camp. If the offer still stands, that is. Oh, and I don't expect you to give up your own supplies, but there might be another way to pay the tappers. If it's ceruleum you need, then it's ceruleum you shall have. Thank you so much. Let's get her to trust us. To reach Tapper's Den, you have to cross the lake. The ice is thick enough to support a person's weight, but if you'd rather not take the risk, you'll need to take the long way around. Finding the entrance can be a bit tricky too, so it's easier to just look for someone standing guard outside. However you decide to head there, please be careful. Yeah, give me the option. Actually, you know what? Since we're going to be fighting some things that are not too low earth level here, we're going to go to Red Mage and see how we do against these. Whoops, Zazzle, I need you back, Zazzle. You're the next time. I need you for my quest. That's what I was thinking. I was just thinking that she was asking a lot of questions, but she's not tempered, so.
Yeah, but she could still be. I don't know. I'm suspicious.
Yeah. Hey, Born. Doing well. Just playing some Final Fantasy XIV, making our way through Garlemald at the moment. And yeah, I'm quite curious what her full deal is. It was a frail voice, though, so I don't know. I've heard really good things about Tunic. Played a bit with Amy, but not a ton. I did hear about the two CEOs for Sony. I've not looked into it too deeply, but it's curious. I don't know what exactly. I don't know exactly what that's all going to entail. Who goes there? How did you find us? What do you mean I stand out like a sore thumb? If the purebloods over at Victor Spoils hadn't given away our location, you'd never have found us. Those stuck-up arseholes thought they could come waltzing in here demanding cerulean with nothing to offer in return. Ha! Looks like the boot's on the other foot now that the capital's gone to shite. So they've resorted to sending you to negotiate. I know they're your game, sellsword. If they think we're going to give in to intimidation, they've got another thing coming. Fellas? Whoops. Oops. Takes care of them. Oh, wow, we just... Well, bye. There you are. Just after you left, Lucinia asked me to go and catch up with you in case you needed a hand. Someone must have let slip that I have a little experience in transporting barrels of ceruleum. Yeah, I wonder what the bigger scrutiny will lead to, though. So this is Tapper's Den. Well then, after you. 2 red mages on the hunt. Who are you talking to? Who are you? What happened to the guards? Eorzeans and rebels here to save the people of Garlemald? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Why in the hells would you pass up this chance to put those imperial bastards to the sword? Let me guess, none of you are Garlean? You were brought here from other lands? Girabania, Iacta, Boja, Damascus, to name but a few. Some dragged here against our will, others fed bollocks about a better life, all put to work extracting ceruleum. All given the esteemed title of On, placing us firmly on the bottom rung of the ladder. But the old hierarchy means nothing in the new Garlemald, says we. But the only thing that escapes more or less unscathed is cerulean engines, still sustaining us even with our paymasters out of the picture. We hear you're experts in drawing up ceruleum from the bottom of the lake, but how can you do that if it's frozen over? Wouldn't you like to know? Trade secret, I'm afraid. At any rate, it's not as if ceruleum is used for much these days. What with the city in ruins? We take enough to power our heaters and save the surplus for later. And though it helps stave off the cold, it does start all about our hunger unless we can trade it away. Speaking of which, be sure to tell your contingent we've got ceruleum by the barrelful. If they're interested, we'll exchange it for whatever provisions they're willing to spare. We can certainly ask, but if you're all free to go now, why carry on living here? Oh, good night, Gregster. Free to go? Go where? Even if we managed to get back to our homelands, there'd be nothing left for us thanks to the Empire, and the knowledge and skills we acquired working here would be practically useless outside of Garlemald. So we're staying for the time being. Long as there's need for ceruleum, we'll find a way to get by, even if Garlemald is as we know it, is gone for good. Gone for good. If only I could get easy experience by taking on turning in higher level quests. Sony will never own Microsoft. Never. Virtua Cosma, thank you so much for the raid. What all? We're playing some Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. What all were you guys playing? Oh, you found another one. Oh, nice. You're on the roll here.
No, this was the friends, definitely not me.
Oh. If you're wondering why we post guards outside, it's because we've had trouble with other refugees, and I don't mean the ones that Victor spoils. Some of them come bearing weapons and won't take no for an answer.
Oh, those little guys are so cute. Look at those little dudes.
Oh,
See
yeah.
them?
Uh-huh.
They're so cute.
Oh, finally finished Infinite Wealth. We are still playing through Yakuza 0. We're getting close. I think we're on chapter 14 or 15, last I left off.
Look at those.
No.
It's a little fate.
That's cool. As for the two guards you met on the way in, I'll tell them what we've discussed, once they've recovered from the beating you gave them. Come to think of it, maybe we should ask contingent to send some bandages and healing balm. Jeez. Regardless of what the Eorzean Contingent does for the people of Garlemald, the Empire itself is already a thing of the past. For many, that would be a cause for celebration, while for others, their whole way of life will have been turned upside down. How was Infinite Wealth, by the way, Virtua Cosma? Is it the new high mark for the series? Oh dang, you're just finding them all. I was gonna search for them once we have all the stuff and off stream. After all the atrocities committed in the Empire's name, perhaps it is for the best that it is consigned to history. But what of the ordinary people, their lives, their stories? Should they be forgotten too? Oh wow, the new high mark. Wow. That's impressive, Cosma. I suppose there'll be plenty of time to ponder that later. For now, let's see about getting some ceruleum. Oh, I'm sure it's a massive game. Yakuza 0 is a massive game. So you've come seeking ceruleum, have you? What, those purebloods up at Victor's Spoils sent you? To turn to their enemies for help, they must be more desperate than I thought. Then again, Lucinia's got her little sister to think about. A sister, but we only saw Lucinia and 3 men. It's possible she died from whatever was ailing her. If she needed treatment, I doubt there'd be any way to get it around here. I may have refused Lucinia at first, thinking she'd come back with something to exchange, but I can spare them a bottle's worth of ceruleum. Consider it a reward for introducing me to the rest of your contingent. Be sure to send them our way, you hear? Interesting. I can't for the life of me think why Lucinia would keep her secret a secret from us, but we can ask about that after we delivered this ceruleum. Come on, let's hurry back. Not a lot of survivors. That's for sure. Yep, I just saw the ether current that you had spotted. It's funny that you mentioned that, Lass. I was talking with Brandon the other day, and he mentioned that there's this website that shows whose birthday is on whose birthday from a One Piece character shares the same birthday as you, and Brandon got all he said was some random fishman from Fishman Island. I got Kuina. And I did look up Amy's. Amy got... Hold on, I'm going to look at this again because she got two really good ones.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Amy got Jinbei and Zeph.
I feel like I've met...
You've met Zeph. He was the head chef at the Baratier, yeah. What's the website? 1 second. I'll pop it in chat.
Did you check Kai's?
I did. Kai got the snake from Skypiea.
Is that bad?
No, it was a cool character, but it's just a snake. The funny thing is, if he had one less, if it was if he was born November 3rd, he would have gotten Yamato. If he gotten November 5th, he would have gotten Fisher Tiger.
So that one of those is John's daughter, Amelia. Right?
Yes. So John's daughter got Fisher Tiger.
Yeah.
Which is just funny. But yeah, if you guys want to check your birthdays against, you gotta tell us if you look at that whose birthday you share with. Yeah, it's a long time until I meet Yamato. Is this down this way? Is this where the ether current is? Should I bother yet or not? But trust me, with all the talk about Yamato, you're never gonna, like, you can't miss him. Lon got Terracotta. I don't even know if I know Terracotta. Last got somebody who's not super remarkable. Shushu and Nekomamushi. I don't know them. I do not recognize those names, that's for sure. Alright, I got all the currents you did. Tightrope raw walking Funon. I don't remember those either. Deva Clan Brothers Lindbergh. Don't know them. Risemon got Moria. There's a significant character at least. Just goes to show how many freaking characters there are in One Piece. I know. I don't know how they got... Some birthdays have been absolutely said. I don't know about all of these others. Because a lot of times fans will take a pun from the characters' names or what they're all about. And like, can this be their birthday? And Oda's like, sure, whatever. Oh, Egro, I think you'd enjoy the manga. It's a lot of fun. This isn't right. It's too quiet. I would have thought Alphino would still be treating them by the fire, but they're nowhere to be seen. I'll look inside the house while you search outside. They can't have gone far. Did they just capture Alphino? My dog shares a birthday with a dog character. That is amazing. What the heck happened here? They asked me to help carry supplies, but when I followed them back here, they attacked me. Caught me off guard, forced me to defend myself. I fear they fared rather worse than me. You can't fool us. We know what you're about. Vultures, that's what you are, waiting in the wings for us to show weakness. Then in you swoop. Here to help? What rot. All a ploy to make us lower our guard. Let you in, put ourselves at your mercy. Put us in chains, steal our lands, get your revenge. You're wrong. That's not what any of us want. Save the arguments for later. We've got bigger problems. I found empty medicine bottles on a bed that was still warm. It's true. Lucinia was hiding her sick sister inside the house. But now there's no sign of either of them. Where are they? Where did they go? Away from you and yours. And if you think I'll tell you, you're a fool. I'd never give up my people. We're trying to help them, you idiot. Her sister's ill. The empty bottles prove it. So the medicine ran out, or she put it in her pockets to make it easier to carry, or to avoid the sound of clinking glass. There are beasts everywhere. How could you let them go alone? To protect them from you. You invaded our homeland, tainted with the same sorcery used to slay our countrymen. Our Garlean should sooner die than suffer the insult. Talking about invading homelands. Jeez. Better for them to flee, keep their purity intact, than be corrupted by your vile magics. We were waiting for a chance to free them since the moment you arrived. This is getting us nowhere. Yeah, it is what the Garleans have been told since birth. Got all the savages and whatnot. I cannot say how Lucinia and her sister will react when we find them, but find them we must. Go on without me, both of you. I first need to tend to my injuries and theirs. I will join you in the search after. Alright, be careful. We'll do our best to find them quickly. There's only one path out of here, so that's where we'll start. Oh yeah, it makes sense why they would believe it. Makes absolute sense. Two sets of footprints. Young women, but judging by the size. This is definitely them. Come on. What a sad state. But I gotta say, I both feel pity for them and don't. It's a weird feeling. The trail stops at the frozen lake. Perhaps they chose this route so as not to leave footprints. I can't think of any other reason. Look at this place. It's crawling with beasts. And I can only imagine how hard it must be for her ailing sister to cross the ice. We could really do with Alphino's help, but we can't afford to wait for him. Let's split up and look for clues. Alright, we're getting Scooby-Doo in on this. Oops, not what I meant to pick. Aha! The empty bottle smells faintly of alcohol. The thin coating of dirt indicates it has been here for some time and is unlikely to have any connection to Lucinia or her sister. Dang. How fitting that we're riding on our ice horse. Wait, what we got here? Oh. I thought that was an NPC over there, to be honest. Aha, there's another one. Fresh blood, that's not good. The blood staining the snow appears to be fresh. Judging by the amount, the victim may have been severely wounded. The trail of blood leads southeastwards. I like the music here. Kind of reminds me of Xenoblade, to be honest. Peaceful yet haunting. I wondered. The two bodies are already cold. Well, that's depressing.
Blood trail. We found one. They were attacked. No. Why wouldn't they?
Safer to brave the wilds than trust in our magic. We should have... I should have... We can't leave them like this. We have to take them home.
What if we're only making it worse?
Maybe we don't belong here, but neither do they. Not out here in the wind and the cold.
Oh, they're holding hands.
The use of the radio.
I heard the story about Varus's voice from beyond the grave. Of course, I didn't believe it, but Licinia and her sister did. Perhaps there is something to the tale after all. I want to understand, so I'm going to borrow this for a while, if that's all right. You had every reason not to trust us. We came as trespassers, invaders. But I pray that in time, we will be more than that to you. That we will find a way to help your loved ones. And see that no more children are left to freeze alone in the snow.
There must have been something we could have done, but what? Should we have never come here? Would they still be alive if we hadn't? We've already caused more than enough harm here. Let us return to the camp before we cause any more. As for those inside the house, we should send someone to take care of them. Someone who isn't us. All we can do now is to make our report to Lucia and do everything in our power to prevent further tragedy. So let us linger here no more. Come. I'm not a fan of this stretch of quest, Time Sage. Oh, I'm curious how Amy and I will feel. Well, I have a feeling that she won't enjoy this set of quests, but we'll see how I feel. I mean, as they put it, it's the end of an empire. What was that? Alea and Alphino tell me they have finished a preliminary search for survivors, but refrain from saying much more than that. Clearly, they are reluctant to provide details. Might I ask for your account?
Thank you for your report. We shall inform the troops of these developments and instruct them to proceed with the utmost caution should they encounter any survivors.
Allow me to go and speak with the ones at the victor's spoils. They may be more willing to listen to a fellow Garlean and accept our offer of assistance.
I pray you are right. And though I am loath to burden you any further, should there be an appropriate occasion to speak of Licinia and her sister, please do so.
I am sorry to have put you through this.
My distress is nothing compared to their suffering. So tell me, what else have we learned?
As you may have already heard, we have succeeded in curing the members of the Populares, Maxima identified. They have provided us with some intriguing insights into the current state of Garlemald.
Oh, really?
The assassination of Emperor Varus was the catalyst for the civil war. Nerva declared his claim to the throne, and his opponents refused to recognize it. Fighting broke out in the capital, where Nerva's 3rd Legion clashed with the 1st, who remained loyal to Varus even after his death.
Of course, even Imperial warmongers would balk at the idea of turning their shining city into a battleground. Like burning down the wood to spite the wasps. Neither side would be so mad. Unless something or someone inflamed their animosity to such an extent that they could not help but act against their better judgment.
It brings to mind events at the Gimlet Dark, does it not? The Emperor's sudden withdrawal from the front lines, specifically. Nerva and his father, Titus, Varus's then political rival, took advantage of rumors that Crown Prince Xenos had been possessed by a demon.
Elidibus, what better way to disparage your enemies than with the truth, or a close enough approximation?
Indeed. But before their accusations could be substantiated, many of Titus's followers were silenced. While some were merely stripped of their status, others died under curious circumstances. One after another, suddenly and suspiciously.
Oh, we don't know anything about that.
Again, Elidibus. Like as not, he had a hand in it. No evidence was found to implicate Varus, certainly. Nevertheless, Titus, Nerva, and the Third Legion would have judged it a brazen attempt by the Emperor to rid himself of his political enemies. And then, in the midst of this growing turmoil, Varus Sosgalvis is murdered. And Garlemald's own prodigal son, Gaius van Belsar, is named the murderer. Shortly thereafter, Nerva claims the right of succession, and in response, the First Legion claims the assassination was part of a coup d'etat orchestrated by Titus and Nerva.
So no one is at fault, and everyone else is to blame.
I should add that both parties received substantial financial backing, presumably to provide.
I wonder why they
them with
chose the
means
First
and
and Third
encouragement to
Legions.
pursue a swift victory, and that these contributions came from the self-same benefactor.
I'd heard House Brutus had been filling the Third Legion's coffers, but the First as well.
It would seem so. Though the Populares determined that the First Legion received funds from a variety of organizations, all had connections to House Brutus.
So Fandaniel, in the guise of Asahi, was playing both sides against each other the entire time.
Yep.
The information we gained from my friends does not end there. One night, shortly after fighting broke out, the capital was shaken by an immense tremor. From that point onward, they have no memories, no recollection of any events, including our clash on the Magna Glaciers. But when asked about the Imperial Palace and its bizarre transformation, they somehow recall Emperor Varus giving them orders in their dreams. May the Tower of Babel stand as testament to the glory of Garlemald.
Tower of Babel. I know that has a biblical reference, but I don't remember if that was a thing in Final Fantasy IV or not.
This sounds awfully familiar.
It was? Okay. The Giant of Babel, that's right.
We have something to show you all.
It's been a little bit since I played 4. I know overarching things, but places are where I kind of struggle a bit.
Varus spoke to them through this radio.
There is definitely an Ascian
Perhaps
that
it was a
possessed
recording,
Varus's
but
body.
If not, that would be inexplicable.
That has to be the explanation.
We are of one mind, then.
The ether that permeates the ore used in this device is almost identical to that of the talismans.
I see it. While it is likely more by coincidence than design, these devices might also ward against a primal's influence. A picture is beginning to form. If the tremor felt throughout Garlemald was a wave of ether emitted by a primal, then while those within range would have been tempered, those huddled around a radio desperate for news concerning the Civil War would have been spared.
No wonder Licinia kept it close.
My friends, I must speak with you. A young man was caught trying to steal our supplies. He is a soldier of the Iron Men, we think, but one who has not been made thrall. Thankfully, Magni restrained him before blood was spilled. The stranger is outside, if you wish to ask him questions.
I think we do.
I'm glad Cyrano's back to being a major character.
Who do we have here?
Garleans?
Traitors to your homeland! Have you no shame?
I am Lucia Junius, a Temple Knight of Ishgard. And you are?
Julius Pier Norbanus. And that's all you invaders will get from me.
We are not here to invade Garlemald. Far from it. Like you, our allies in Eorzea and the Far East fight in defense of their lives and their loved ones even as we speak. But it is the people of Garlemald who have suffered most. This we know. And that is why we have come to offer you our aid, that we may unite against our common foe. Whether you believe me or not, those are the facts. Now, answer me this. Why would a proud soldier of the Empire be reduced to stealing? The situation must be dire indeed for you to go to such lengths. If it is supplies you seek, we would gladly share ours, or turn a blind eye while you leave with your spoils.
I will not negotiate. My commander will determine how to deal with you and yours. If you wish to treat with him, I will take you, but no more than 3.
I don't much like the sound of that. But if we do accept his proposal, I suggest the 2 of us and...
Probably Maxima?
Please allow me and Alize to act as envoys.
May I ask why?
We have seen with our own eyes the hardships the Garleans face. How their futures and lives hang in the balance.
It's not the warmest invitation, but it's an opportunity to prove our intentions true. Maybe not a chance to make things right, but a chance to make them better.
What would your mother say if I let you 2 go by yourselves?
I can see that persuading you otherwise is a lost cause, but you will proceed with the utmost care.
Garlemald is the twins' focus arc for this expansion. Yeah, that definitely seems to be the case. I mean, they've gotten a lot of focus just because of going to Garlean as well.
Couple of children and what? A sellsword? Is this an insult?
Not in the least. You will find that they are more than qualified to speak on our behalf.
There are many dangers on the road ahead. I will need that back.
Well, this guy's just a ray of sunshine. So many people to talk to. Ah, he's a member of the First. That'll be interesting. Gunbreaker supremacy? Sure, let's go with that. You will be received as invited guests, and so I urge you to observe proper social etiquette and conduct yourselves accordingly. Your safe return takes precedence above all else. Remember this. Thancred in particular will be worried sick if you're gone too long. May the Fury watch over and keep you. Are you and the children ready? I will explain the route once we are outside your camp. If anyone attempts to follow us, we will judge it as an act of hostility. We will not hesitate to take appropriate measures. I would expect nothing less. You have our full cooperation. Alright, let's go. And actually, let's see if we can get anything for the Red Mage in the meantime. Just in case we get into any fights. Alright, this is far enough. Listen carefully. We head over to that hill, then follow the road until we reach Liminal Station 4. Children in the lead, I want you to where I can see you. We do have names, you know. I'm Alea and he's Alphino. And last but not least, there's Milan. Milan, where have I heard that before? No matter, Alphino and Alea will watch the road ahead while we bring up the rear. I wasn't lying about there being many dangers, so you're to run, not saunter, run towards the station. If you even think about going for your weapon, the deal's off. Should any creatures bar the way, we go around them. Alright. Let's make a mad dash. Emblem Bear. Oh. I'm curious how this whole arc is going to go as it develops and whatnot. That's a wild looking creature. I knew that was going to happen. We're just going to keep going. Thank you to Garlean for killing that thing. Alright. There's a reason I was struggling to decide between having you play either Nier Automata or Final Fantasy IV. Yeah. This is it. The first stop, that is. Good. Looks like your friends knew better than to follow us. Are these your headquarters? No, we're stopping here so I can check for pursuers. Since it appears you've kept to your side of the bargain, we can carry on. I might as well just stay Dragoon at this rate. North of the station is Regio Domorum, one of the main residential areas, or at least it was. The afflicted roam the streets in packs. They'll tear us to shreds if given the chance. Keep close, no wandering off, understood? From here, we'll be heading northeast, keeping to the left of the railway. While the route itself is straightforward, getting past the hordes unseen is anything but. Keep your weapons at the ready. They would attack their own countrymen. Aye, they spare their own, but slaughter the rest without hesitation. Though we'll try to avoid detection, the chances of sneaking by completely unnoticed are slim at best. I will lead the way, but in the event that we are seen, you're to fight them off. Those two will follow us, provided they can refrain from drawing their weapons. While I doubt they would be foolish enough to stab their guide in the back, I will not take that chance. With that said, let us proceed. Off we go. Every time I ride this thing, I just think of the Scooty Puffs Jr. from Final Fantasy, not Futurama. Oh, sure. Now is when I have to fight. Hold on. Dang it. Oh well. I see why your comrades chose you. Julius, our contingent has a cure for the afflicted, or tempered as we call them. Your people would need to be taken into custody that we may administer the treatment, but they would eventually regain their sanity. Is that so? For all I know, your treatment would simply force them to forsake one master for another. As far as I and my legion are concerned, they are no longer our people. They're beyond saving. Those who thought differently and tried to reason with them were butchered for their bleeding hearts. Come, we have to keep moving. Yeesh. Ah, how fitting. This is the Scooty Puff Jr.? Maybe. Twins are getting a little antsy. Looks like we're not being followed. We will continue onward. Such a suspicious... Oh, the thing you landed in. Sorry, I missed it. No, you won't fight this mission. You just run. Just follow after those two. The next mission you'll be doing some small battles. Nothing major. He truly believes there's nothing that can be done for them. No wonder he isn't afraid to get his hands dirty. The surest way to limit casualties is to reach our destination without drawing attention to ourselves. Perhaps afterwards we can try again to convince Julius that the temper can be saved. I don't know if we're convincing this dude, I'll be honest. Oh, the yokai mount. I see. Yeah, that is very much so. I meant when I said these people deserve only death. I stayed my hand before only out of a desire to remain undiscovered, and that is still the higher priority. We should continue to avoid any unnecessary confrontations. Keep following the railway. This place is like Ishgard times like 20 for Amy. Nothing but snow and not much else, huh, Amy? Yeah. I'm not surprised that Amy likes Ishgard better. What the heck are those? See, they're starting to change a bit. Look at what they've become. Would you still stand there and claim that they could be cured? Those exposed to a vast quantity of our primal's ether may suffer severe corruption. Even with treatment, such victims are beyond salvation. Then you admit it. Now that you've seen these monstrosities for yourself, perhaps you will think twice before speaking of a cure. So friggin' self-righteous. Left. Even here in the outskirts, it's plain to see how vastly different Garlemald is compared to other cities. We're almost there. You have kept your side of the agreement, so I will keep mine this way. Feels like we explored a good chunk. No, there's still the whole left side. Oh my god. More than I was expecting. This is Tertium, one of Garlemald's largest stations. It now serves as our headquarters. I've already sent the twins ahead. I will be with you soon, so wait for me at the bottom of the stairs. A bucket doesn't work on a fire the size of a house, so you admit you can't put out fires with water. Yeah. God, going down in this tunnel like this kind of reminds me of Shin Megami Tensei 4. Or Fallout. It's plain to see why they chose this as their base of operations. They could have done a lot worse. Even so, I imagine it's not the easiest place to live. Indeed, and if Julius was willing to make the perilous journey to Camp Broken Glass in search of food, their own supplies must be all but exhausted. They may be shielded from the wind and snow, but it's still bitterly cold. Much like Victor's spoils, it must be a constant struggle to keep their people warm. Lower your voices. While you may be here as my guest, the others will not take kindly to your presence. My commander is in the locomotive over there. No way am I going to be doing any more fights or seeing anything new, so... Back to the Dragoon. And to the Aetheryte. Weird to think of Garleans... not responding. I was going to say, weird to think of Garleans having Aetheryte, but that just explained it.
These are their chosen representatives.
Very well. Let us hear what they have to say.
Yes, sir. I present to you our commander,
I swear
Lord Quintus Van Kina, Legatus of the First Legion.
I was wondering if he's going to be called Garland.
I had no idea you had survived.
We lost our emperor, our city, more than half our troops. For my wounds, I may never take the field again. But we survived. In a manner much to your liking, I dare say.
Hey, Chris Struck.
We have no intention of adding to your misfortunes, nor do we bear you any ill will.
Spare me. Though you children may speak in earnest, overtures of peace ever ring hollow in my ears. So long as man stands to profit from his neighbor's suffering, war is inevitable. Driven from our ancestral homeland into this blasted waste. Yet still you yearned to rob us of our paltry scraps. 'Twas only with Magitech that you learned to keep your distance. Though we knew it was only a matter of time before you regrouped and returned. Conquest and Empire were our only defenses. Emperors Solus and Varys understood this, and through their campaigns saw us grow and prosper. Much blood has been spilled in Garlemald's name, aye. But if it is a choice between yours and mine, then it is hardly a choice at all.
I do not deny that a great many conflicts throughout history were driven by the desire or necessity to gain by another's loss. That is not why we are here. Nor have we come to petition your aid in the war with the Telophoroi, grave though that threat may be. Our purpose is simply this. We wish to help you. Let us help you. If there is aught that can be done to ease your plight, we would be glad to do it.
Perhaps you would. But regardless of the ideals you espouse, your leaders would not send an army into Garlemald if they did not stand to benefit. If we accept their aid, they will expect their efforts to be rewarded once the Telophoroi are no longer a threat.
I mean, we get to live. That's always nice.
And after compensation and concessions, the great empire would be brought to heel. Her enemies rejoice at her downfall. Our third eye, a mark of shame.
We won't stand idly by and let your people be humiliated. And we're not alone in that. We only want to make a difference, to make this world of ours better. Surely you can understand that. What I'm trying to say is, there are so many people who just don't care about making you suffer. And maybe that's almost insulting after all the suffering you feel the world has subjected your people to, but believe it or not, that's the truth. And now we're here, and all we're asking is for you to tell us what you want.
Of course.
What you hope for.
So much blood has been shed, so much lost. All because of this endless war. Who wouldn't want to end it? Can we not work together to face our problems as one?
Answer me this, young peacemakers. If a world without conflict is your desire, why reject the unity and prosperity of Garlemald? Is it because we do not share your faith? That we do not share your heritage? That our ideals and virtues differ? That we cherish and hold in the highest that which you do not? Disparity is the root of discord, and peace built on compromise is flawed and fleeting. Happiness for one and all is a dream, and the reality is that to the victor go the spoils. That is why we Garleans will never submit nor surrender. For freedom and for pride, we will remain true to ourselves until the bitter end. That is my hope. It seems there is nothing more to say on the matter. You will remain here while I decide what is to be done with you. Do not be alarmed. No harm will come to you if you cooperate.
We will not resist. However, as your guests, I ask that we be allowed to speak with the other members of your group.
As you wish. I had no intention of locking you up, as by dawn you would be frozen stiff and you're no good to me dead. You are free to move about the encampment, but there is one condition. Collar them.
What are these?
Incentive. You'll be watched at all times. Stray too far or act suspiciously, and we will administer a rather painful shock. Stop. Keep away from that one. The champion of Eorzea is not so easily cowed. Even if he allowed himself to be collared, the shock would be no more than an itch. No. If he refuses to obey, we will activate the twins' restraints instead.
You needn't worry about us.
We'll forget we're even wearing them soon enough.
Even now, you still... Why go to such lengths? What is it all for?
I'm gonna go with this one. Oh, I'm very curious what you'll choose that one, because I got with my response, I got a vision of Harshaphant.
You are a curious one. A far cry from the merciless barbarian others paint you to be.
Yeah, there's only two. Tell me when you get to the choice.
You will be their warden. Take them away.
He's like,
Yes, sir.
Good night, Cat Evie. Take care. God, that radio. Very happy zone, exactly. Oh, look, Persona. All right. Before you ask, no, I don't have a key or any other means to remove your collars. Nor would I tell you if I did. And if you try anything, you'll soon wish you hadn't. So do you truly intend to speak with the others, or was that merely a ruse? We're in no hurry to disobey Lord Quintus, if that's what you mean. Or perhaps you doubt the wisdom of his decision. So they think they needed to conquer in order to survive, but they also got rid of any trace of, the other people's heritage. So, yeah. No, I don't think that's even... Do as you will, but remember, I'll be watching. If I catch wind of you doing anything untoward, trying to trick our people into turning their coats and the like, those shock collars will be the least of your worries. Understood? Though we're somewhat compromised, to put it lightly, let's not waste this opportunity. I suggest splitting up and learning what we can of their situation. And above all else, don't use magics of any sort. You, on the other hand, may go wherever you wish, even outside the camp. I know full well I couldn't stop you if I tried. But do not forget, if you do anything to endanger us or our interests, Alphino and Alce will pay the price. I picked the bottom one.
I figured that would be the Harshafant one.
Mm-hmm. So if you pick the other one, so I got Harshafant. Oh, Amy got...
Emmett.
Yeah, Amy gets Emmett Selk. By picking the top option. You remembered him. Remember what he asked?
He asked what?
To remember him. So you remembered him. Everyone else tried to destroy Garlemald and his people in their eyes for centuries. Why shouldn't they do the same? True. I guess there's the way to put it. Nope, still can't use the Aetheryte. Bummer. Queso. You came with Julius, didn't you? Well, whatever business brought you here, you best keep your hands off that Aetheryte. It's deactivated, but I'd rather you didn't mess about with it. There are others throughout the city, built by Garleans for Garleans. Could teleport all over in the blink of the eye, provided there was a terminal nearby. These days, however, we use the Aetheryte's power to keep this place lit, though that comes at the cost of its normal function. Very sad, but very... Oh, it's absolutely believable. So cold. That's some good info. It's you, Milan Yata. I served under Lord Gaius in the 14th Legion. I was there on the night the Praetorium fell. You and your adventurers, you killed them, my comrades, my friends, swept them aside in their dozens as though they were nothing to you. And maybe I am too, just another faceless enemy to be cut down. But it won't be long until our countrymen return. Until you get what you deserve. Mark my words. Yep.
I remember Octavia.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I remember that.
Where was she from?
The Praetorium explosion thingy, I think.
Oh. That's interesting.
Remember whenever they attacked their own? Remember that? Like,
Oh.
the tower where they attacked their own people?
Yeah.
The old guy died and so
Right,
I
right.
think she just said it was from there.
Maybe. Maybe? I thought she was talking about the end of Realm Reborn, the Praetorium, and fighting Gaius.
I just remember that name.
Hard to say, honestly. Quintus is a stubborn fool. The Empire is done for. They don't have any food, soldiers, or ways to conquer, but he and the Garleans are too prideful to admit it. Yep. I know who you are. The so-called champion of Eorzea. Come to gloat, have you? I'll wipe that smirk off your face. By the blood of our fallen compatriots, I swear I'll... Ugh. Damn, tore the sutures. Of all the times, the worst of the lot within striking distance, I can't even muster the strength. If it weren't for the third bleeding us, we'd be the end of you. Virgilia's treachery nearly cost Lord Quintus his life, but we made our escape, took shelter in a mansion, tended to the wounded as we prepared to strike back, and then night fell and we gathered around the radio. Then the roar, the terrible roar. The capital was in chaos, but we were spared. If you can call this a mercy. Mind intact, but body broken. A soldier in name alone. I'd cut you down if I could, where you stand if I could, murderer. Yep. We have killed a lot of Garleans over throughout our time. No doubt about that.
Just like the Garleans killed a lot
Oh, Eorzeans? Oh, yeah. And enslaved them. We saw their methods in Stormblood. It is not a good thing to be under Garlean control. At all. Did you learn anything of note? Then your findings are consistent with my own. Their plight is desperate indeed. The sick and injured are at greatest risk. Without warmth and proper nutrition, I fear they will soon perish. I realize there is precious little we can do for them at present, but I cannot bear to see them suffer. Please, will you help me tend to them? Who's theirs? Who's there? My eyes. I can't see all that well. Thank you. The numbness has subsided a little, but I know I won't last much longer. You should look to the others who can still fight. Give them my ration. If me going hungry, sir, means someone else lives to see another day, so be it. At least I can still serve in that way. So those you met fare no better. I was afraid you'd say that. I know we were warned against meddling in their affairs, but we can't leave them like this. Perhaps we might gain permission to have the contingent deliver supplies? Quintus may have made his feelings on the matter quite clear, but even he must recognize they are not in a position to refuse help. Maybe Julius can persuade him. That we need to persuade Julius first. I don't know how feasible that is. Well, seen enough? Julius, the people here have barely enough food and fuel to survive. Have you and the other soldiers been able to procure any more supplies? We've been scavenging provisions from the nearby houses, as most families kept some stored away in the event they were snowed in. Still, going out and getting it is dangerous work, and we've a lot of mouths to feed. Fuel is the greater concern, though. We had some cerulean set aside until it was stolen. We haven't identified the culprit. Could have been other refugees or one of the afflicted for all we know. Either way, we're down to the last dregs. Without the heating they need, those in poor health are only going to get worse instead of better. If it's cerulean you need, our contingent has secured a ready supply. We can have some sent over. We will not accept your charity. If we can hold on a little longer, the situation is sure to change. Aye, everything will change. One of your comrades mentioned something along those lines. Okay. Heard something of it, have you? Okay. Well, from what I've seen, there's little you could do to interfere, so there's no harm in telling you. One of our scouts spotted a hooded man issuing instructions to the afflicted, or in the bastard's words, loyal servants of the Telepharoi. Then he made his way inside the Imperial Palace, or what stands in its place. When identified the seat of the enemy's power, we realized Lord Quintus dispatched a messenger to the 10th Legion saying as much, and instructing them to join forces with the Provincial Legions, to prepare for a combined assault on the Telepharoi. Once our allies arrive, your contingent will be sent running for the hills. Then we shall reclaim the capital by our own hand. And how do you intend to survive in the meantime? At this rate, many of your countrymen will perish long before reinforcements reach Garlemald. They need help now. Say the word and we will bring you ceruleum. I will speak with Lord Quintus. So, did he agree to it? No, he will not place Garlemald in the debt of her enemies. I have, however, been ordered to search for ceruleum outside. As you are under my watch, you will come with me. Very well. After all, many hands make light work. You're a lot more trouble than you're worth. Once we are outside, you will follow my instructions to the letter. We depart shortly. We will begin our search for ceruleum in Regio Urbanissima. The first location is Forum Soleus, a park to the northwest of the station. You are to remain close at all times and act only as ordered. Follow me. Oh, it's our first level 83 quest. Cool. Let's see what I can do for my red mage. But obviously the Dragoon gets the bulk of the experience. Oh.
You'll see it when, I think you'll see it when you get into the city area.
Okay.
Like, keep your eyes kind of up. Where my dog is right now.
Oh, I see it up there, yeah. I will go take care of that. Man, wonder why Garlemald's ether currents are so easy to find. Guess it's because it's also barren. Yeah, there's 10 ether currents in this one as well. Yep. We found 4 of the 10 and we still have the 5 quests. But methinks it's going to be a while till we start getting quests from these people. I thought I talked to her. There we go. That's the first full zone. The other zones you've only had half access thus far. Ah. So this is the park. I'm surprised they found space for one amongst all these buildings. Actually, the recreational areas came first. The houses were built later around them. A healthy society requires communal spaces for children to play and adults to socialize. This park was named after the founding father of the empire, the great Solus Zos Galvus. Did we come to extract ceruleum from the wrecked Magitech armor? No, we've already drained it dry. Same goes for the rest of the Machina in the vicinity. But as our ceruleum has been stolen, we must scour the city for every last drop. And while I don't expect to find anything here, I've decided to try one more time, in case something has been overlooked. I see. Then with your permission, we will commence the search. Yeah, Garlemald's just Fallout. That too. There is hints, like some feelings of 7 after the plate dropped. Alright. Nothing there. There's that one back here that I missed. Everything's just very somber. Especially when you see this, like I see this slide here and I just think of 7. Oh, yeah.
Siege stuff.
Yeah, you can see it. Hmm. Where's this final spot? Hmm. Aha. Right idea, wrong location. Hey, Chris Struck. And hey, Heroes Live. How's it going? Alright. That was exhausting. Oh, that's no good. Hopefully get some rest now. Oh, it's you. Any luck? There's no sign of any ceruleum. Hardly surprising, but disappointing nonetheless. I couldn't help but noticing you gazing at the pond. Something the matter? What? Yes, I mean, no, It's just, I used to bring my brother and sister here to play. The pond was heated to stop it from freezing over, so like all the other children, they just had to wade in and splash about. Would have stayed there if I didn't drag them out. We'd be sopping wet when all was said and done, every time. And every time when we'd get home, Mother would scold us, saying we'd catch our death walking around like that. The pond was heated. With a cerulean-powered heater by any chance? I suppose it must have been, come to think of it. I remember seeing engineers changing out a tank beneath a hatch. But that was a long time ago, when the water still flowed clear and wasn't this brackish muck. We can't see a thing, and I can't remember where the hatch might be. With the machinery most likely broken, the amount of filth in there is probably the only reason it hasn't frozen over. I'd wager it's still unbearably cold, though. Julius, what are your thoughts on magic? The average Garlean would jump out of their skin if they saw it, but the first has a few foreign signiferi and Medici, so it doesn't scare me. Then I take it you won't mind if I employ a little now. Alphino, as you have a knack for finding dry wood, why don't you bring me some? Once that's done, a blast of verifier should do the trick. Leave it to me. You're not planning to go in there, are you? Of course I am. The tank isn't going to fetch itself. It's nothing so involved as extracting unprocessed ceruleum from a frozen lake as how the tappers do it. We're talking about a shallow pond in a park, and we have a way of warming ourselves up after. But that's insane. So, fancy a dip? Oh God. Did you get you said the middle one? Uh-huh. The practical person in me is like a friendly competition, is what my first thought was, but then I gotta laugh at the drink the pond dry. Nah, we're gonna drink that pond dry. I gotta see the response. That may be the stupidest thing I've heard in a while, and that's saying something considering who my brother is. I can't fault your enthusiasm, though. Let's do it my way first, and if that doesn't work, perhaps then you can try your method, with Alphino's help. Worth it. Totally worth it.
You have to read the description on the item when you find it.
Oh, okay. Chilled to the bone. Handle. Gonna get a handle on things. You open the hatch and retrieve a cerulean tank. However, your grand discovery comes at a great personal cost as you become acutely aware of the freezing cold and a rancid odor emanating from every elm of your body. Julius will doubtless feel compelled to pinch his nose shot when you deliver to him your prize. Well, can't say we didn't try. Let's change clothes. Maybe that'll help us. Did you find anything? Oh, I hope you did. Uncovering hidden treasure is an adventurer's bread and butter, though one is not normally required to go elbow deep in ice-cold, stagnant pond water to retrieve it. Nevertheless, many would choose that over mowing down hordes of slavering beasts or solving annoying puzzles. Oh my gosh.
I thought that was appropriate, especially after
crosscode. After crosscode, yeah. Warbod. Yes, this is pre-second dungeon. That's it. And there's still some ceruleum left. The fire's still not ready. Hold on, I'll give Alphino a hand. Call me an old dawn now, because by fire I am reborn, and my clothes are mostly dry now too. I appreciate you recovering the ceruleum, but I wish you'd taken the time to discuss the plan with me beforehand. Despite the way you've been treated, in Lord Quintus's eyes, you're still envoys deserving of protection. If you were to die on my watch, he would be most displeased. Your concern is duly noted, but all's well that ends well. Julius, you mentioned coming here with your younger siblings. Did you grow up in Garlemald? I did, not far from here. My father was an accomplished researcher in his youth, and for his contributions to the Empire, awarded an estate. We lived well, better than many. What was Garlemald like in those days? Everything. It was everything you could imagine, and so much more. Even during the coldest winters, we found warmth and comfort at home. Coming in from the snow, taking off your coat, and sitting down for a hot meal with family. Visiting friends and relatives, receiving that same welcome, knowing they had everything they needed. Walking down the street, seeing the lights in all the houses, hearing the faint sounds of laughter and song, of happiness. And although the summers came and went all too quickly, in that brief respite the ice would melt and the forgotten grass make its triumphant return. Gray clouds gave way to blue skies. Some mornings we'd climb to the top of the tallest building we could find to watch the sunrise. Never again. Those rooftops are rubble, those friends dead, and those memories, but if I could reclaim even a fraction of what we once had. Soon our chance will come. We just need to hold on a little longer. I love how Alphino is just like used to gathering firewood at this point. Alright, now that you've recovered from your escapades in the pond, there's another location I'd like to search, just outside the park. Hey, Linky. We're just visiting the wonderful world of Garlemald. So happy, so bright. Just the best place you could imagine.
Don't waste your bombs.
Oh, I have not gotten bombs yet. As you can see, this place is littered with the remnants of various types of war machina. While my comrades and I have already recovered the tanks from the less damaged units, those that took a more severe beating are harder to scavenge. We decided to save those for another time, that time being now. Rather than prize them apart piece by piece, it would be quicker to remove the outer casing using compact explosives. With luck, we'll gain access to the tanks without rupturing them. Though the force generated by these devices is relatively weak, I would advise you stand well clear to avoid being hit by any shrapnel. Before even bothering though, you should check the machina's ceruleum gauge to see if there's any left. It should still provide an accurate reading even when the unit itself is inactive. If the gauge is broken, I'll let you decide whether to use an explosive or not. Should you need more, come to me. Understood. Let's get to work.
Okay, so it looks like we're just
I guess. Empty. I want to find a guaranteed one first.
There isn't one.
Oh, there isn't?
Nope, you just have to guess. You have to pick one, but definitely not one that says empty.
Yeah. Did you use one on one that says
I had to
empty?
go back for more. I used it on every one until I realized, oh, there's more than just two.
Oh, this one was empty. There's that one back there, but I'll save that since it's closer.
The fluff text for the item is funny again.
Oh.
Not quite.
Powerful enough to destroy the thick armor of Imperial War Machina, but not the considerably more fragile ceruleum tanks beneath, apparently. Oh my god. That's good. Hey, still half full, or half empty, depending on one's perspective. Either way, Julius will certainly be pleased by your discovery. I'll call that a success. Yeah, Linky, how goes... I don't know, what kind of prep are you doing for Dawn Trail? Any, or just doing what you usually do? More explosives. Wait, is that what I think it is? Not only did this tank survive the attack that disabled the war machina on which it was installed, it also escaped the blast of your explosives unscathed. If medals for outstanding service were awarded to inanimate objects, this champion among ceruleum tanks would surely deserve one. These descriptions. You've done it again. Truly, luck is on your side. Still doing DSR, Dragon Song Reprise. Nearly done with the fight. How is that one? Fun? With this, we should be able to refuel quite a few of our heaters. It's time we headed back. Wait here while I go and see how Alea and Alphino are faring. Oh, it's an ultimate fight. Yeesh. Yeah, I've not done any of those. I can say that with certainty. Oh boy.
Finally escaped the watchful gaze of your keepers, have we?
Oh, I think good.
Don't react. will only draw attention to yourself. Just carry on as you are and listen. After you left with the Garlean lad, Lucia bade a few of our scouts follow you at a discreet distance. We observed you being led into the station, but decided against venturing inside.
Taking
When
a
we
risk
emerged
there.
sometime later, and we saw that the twins were sporting Magitech collars, it was clear what had taken place. Now, as quietly as you can, tell me everything. The Legatus himself, eh? Now there's a surprise. This is also the first I've heard of a plan to join forces with the 10th and storm the Tower of Babel. An interesting development, and perhaps the opportunity we've been waiting for. Our comrades back at the camp also received some rather promising news, but it's still too early to get our hopes up. For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them. With luck, this will all be over soon. Until then.
They had not gone far.
We searched high and low, but no luck, I'm afraid. I might have guessed you'd be the only one to find anything.
We're really good at that.
I wasn't expecting much to begin with. Eventually, there will be nothing left out here for us to safely salvage. For now, this will have to suffice. We should return to the station.
Ah, there you are. Heard you'd gone hunting for ceruleum above ground. Brought back a king's ransom?
Hardly. But thanks to these three, we have enough to last a little while longer.
Well, well. It's not at all as I was expecting, these ones. For savages, they seem positively docile. It's a poor attempt at humor. In all honesty, I'm grateful for your efforts. But even with another night of warmth, there are those among us who may not live to see the morrow.
I trust your expedition was fruitful.
Quintus up and about.
Lord Quintus!
Use what you procured to refuel the armor.
But, sir, what about the heaters for the camp?
The time for action is upon us.
Oh boy.
My men and I have matters to discuss. In the meantime, you are to wait here. Do not forget, you are being watched.
They are just so eager to die.
The time for action. What did he mean by that?
I can only speculate. Clearly something requiring their magitech, given what we just heard. Whether they plan to utilize it now, or after they join with the 10th, is another question. Will they ever escape this cold? Return to and reclaim the idyllic spaces of which Eulus spoke?
Alright, Eulus, not Julius.
Finished your war, Council?
Alphino and Eorzean to stay here as our prisoners. They will be released once your comrades have relinquished their supplies and withdrawn from Garlean soil.
Wonderful.
Until our terms are met, they will be detained at a separate location.
After everything we've said and done, this is how you treat us.
Our allies have but limited supplies. They may stave off cold and starvation for a short while, but what then?
For now, keeping yourselves out of harm's way comes before all else. Whatever demands the Garleans make, indulge them.
Everything will be all right. Have faith.
That's what the other one.
That worked out.
Get them out of here.
That makes sense. Alphino and Alea will be fine, providing they do not resist. Alea Iacta Est? Okay. You will accompany me back to your camp, where I will meet with your leader and present Lord Quintus's demands. Before we depart, however, there is something I would ask of you. Assuming your contingent complies, the supplies they surrender will need to be transported here. That task falls to Legionnaires Marcellinus and Octavia, who will pilot magic armor to your headquarters. You to inform them that we are leaving shortly. Tell them to ask the ill for further details, in those words. Once you've seen to that, meet me by the exit. The die has been cast is what it means. Okay. The name of the quest is the die has been cast in Latin.
I feel like this ill thingy is like it feels like we're putting them on a suicide mission or something where they're gonna kill our comrades and not surrender.
Or something like.
It sounds very negative.
Yeah. Not great. You again. Ask the ill, he said. So that's to be the way of it after all this. How ironic that you should be the ones to deliver the news. If those are my orders, then so be it, for the glory of Garlemald. Yeah, they are definitely being asked to die or something. Hey, Smash Matt. Out of curiosity, how many quests are we away from the next duty? What do you want with me? Ask the ill, so Lord Quintus has reached a decision. I knew he would understand, that he would recognize the savage as a ruthless, merciless creature, and to defeat him, we too must be uncompromising. I am ready. In the name of Emperor Varus, for the glory of Garlemald, I will fulfill my duty.
This place really does make me think of Zenblade 2, like the place
That who came from? Oh, yeah.
you really like that.
The desert area, right? Oh, you mean not Hugo. Oh, wait.
From Zenblade 2.
The snow area. That was where
on top of him, it was like a mech, like a transformer mech
Morag?
Morag, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the desert area. Yeah. Yeah, there's a city, but it's also everything else around it is desert. But yeah, it's very much like that, which was also an empire. So there you go. There's 3 quests left, but the one right before it is big. Okay, so we'll get to the one where before that's solo duty, and we'll stop for the night. Have you done as instructed? What do you mean by ask the ill?
So the other one?
I am not at liberty to divulge that. What I can say is this. You have no cause for the concern if our demands are met. You and I are in this together now. Like it or not, we have to cooperate.
So when I said the other one, he basically said duty is rarely a simple thing. We have other instructions.
Right.
And then something about whether we have to act on them is all up to you.
Oh. Okay. There is one other matter. A place I'd like to visit on the way to your camp. It's a short walk from here. Follow me. Probably visiting his home. Oh wow, 56. I never finished watching the Inuyasha anime, but I did read all the manga. And boy, is that just that series is just the epitome of spinning its wheels at a certain point. Euless lingers by the ruins, reluctant to leave and reluctant to stay, unable to move on. Massive city just burnt out. Yeah, we're gonna get right before the big gameplay, and we'll continue that on Wednesday. We're all in setup territory right now.
This is my home. Our home. At least it was until that night. I was with Lord Quintus when the capital fell, and thus spared. My family, who did not own a radio, were less fortunate. When dawn came, I made my way here. My parents, my little brother and sister, they were still inside. But they weren't themselves, and they tried to. And I had to.
Oh God.
I'd promised to take them away from the capital that very morning, to somewhere safe, to hide until the fighting stopped. I promised. The Garlean flag bears a chain, the bonds between our countrymen. A red link at its center. The blood of the fallen. Our loved ones who lived and died for Garlemald.
Alpha says this is the real reason Euless is resistant to the idea of a cure for tempering, because if he accepts that there is a cure, he has to also accept that his siblings did not have to die, that he didn't have to kill them. The fact that he killed them is already terrible. The idea that he did so when he didn't have to, oh boy. Yeah, that's like that one movie, The Mist, I think. But yeah, that's always a rough situation.
But if she too fell, who would be left to remember them and their sacrifice? What enduring proof would there be that they were ever here?
Boy, that sounds familiar.
If we had turned to your gods, would they have saved us? I'm sorry, forget I spoke. We should go.
It's no use.
Believe me, I do not enjoy being here any more than you. But he wanted us to play along, so that is what we will do.
It's funny that she's the one getting closer.
It's so cold.
Painfully so. Unbearably.
I've been thinking about what Quintus said. About why no one would accept Garlean rule. Irreconcilable differences. When coexistence isn't an option, only conquest remains. Varys at Gimlet said much the same. Only by uniting the world beneath a single standard would we rid ourselves of the Ascians. United as one people, one race cleansed of imperfections, a cold and unforgiving vision. And when we fail to live up to their standards, what place is there for us in their world? But the truly sad, truly frustrating thing is how damnably similar it all is to the lofty ideals of Father and the Forum. Non-intervention. Always non-intervention. Protect our knowledge and our people, and to hells with the rest of you. And yet, I can see how it happened. Varys and Father looked to their elders for guidance and took their virtues as their own. But for this world was of their making. In who else could they place their trust? All of us lost in a sea of chaos, searching desperately for purpose and meaning. But it shouldn't just be an extension of another's. It has to be ours. It has to be. We all have a stake in this world. No one should be silenced.
I won't deny that we lack the experience of people such as Father or Quintus. Perhaps they've come to see the world as a series of problems, and the most efficient way of solving them, to reduce everything to fundamental forms. A stone is a stone, a cloud, a flower, no more than that. Simple descriptions that strip the subject of distinguishing characteristics. A man is a man, divided according to race, creed, or allegiance, and to some, defined by such associations.
Is that what you think?
In my misbegotten youth. But what I believed wisdom was no more than aggressive ignorance. I've since learned to look beyond the banners and the politics. To see people as individuals with their own hopes and dreams. As for my dream of building a better world, well, every day I'm reminded that it is far more complex than I had ever imagined.
That's a really good scene.
But it only spurs me onward.
Love the growth of these two.
And the strength to see it through to the very end.
All of our supplies and an immediate withdrawal. These are your conditions?
Demands. And you forgot about the airship. Once again, you will leave one behind. It will be used to return the prisoners. Their collars will be removed prior to the exchange.
So in the end, not even Father's expertly worded rhetoric could deter you from your chosen course.
Huh?
Not that I thought for a moment that it would. I've no love for violence, of course, but ours is a cause worth fighting for. I just wish he'd realize it too. Sometimes the only way to protect the ones you love is to take a stand, to refuse to suffer in silence. I want you to know I share your conviction. Whether it be on the battlefield or in the debating chamber, I won't back down. I guess what I'm saying is...
I hope these characters have so much fun in Dawn Trail.
Yes. Yes, I have. God's willing, there will come a day when we can finally lay down our arms, and there will be peace. But not until the Telophoroi have been defeated once and for all. And you, brother, will have a vital part to play. By your words and deeds, you'll lead the way.
I pray I am up to the task.
There'll always be naysayers. Those who think us fools for even trying. It's easy for learned elites to criticize earnest efforts and assert their moral superiority, all without offering alternatives. Not that their sophistry has ever wounded you. So stubborn and strong. Stronger than you even know. Don't ever change, you hear me? If you stumble, I'll be there to catch you. Or give you a thick ear. Maybe both, for good measure.
Thank you, Alice.
Hi, Thancred. Oh, nope. Estinian.
The scouts have secured Alize and Alphino. Their collars were removed without complication as well. They report no casualties, not for their party nor the guards, who will wake from their premature slumber in due course.
It would appear the situation has changed. I propose new terms. We have information that will be of great interest to Lord Quintus, and I wish to speak with him in person.
No. In the event you rejected our first proposal, we came prepared with a second.
Ambush!
More are coming! Make ready!
I didn't see that many people below in the subway station.
We, the loyal soldiers of the First Legion, proud servants of Garlemald, of the fallen Emperor Varys, shall safeguard these lands from the barbarian hordes until our countrymen return! Stop! Both of you!
Dang.
This child may be the worst emissary I have ever seen.
We received an urgent communication from the Grand Company of Eorzea. Envoys from the Imperial Army, led by members of the 10th Legion, came to Alamigo and requested an audience.
Amy saying Amy said there's some some triggering events that might happen in the future, just as a warning for people. I don't know what they are, but something's coming.
Do you want me to tell you? It doesn't show anything, but it heavily implies something.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's saying about that in the chat. Yeah, don't tell me. I don't want to know what's coming. But that way people are at least aware something's coming.
They explained that their efforts to coordinate the reclamation of the capital with the aid of the 4th, 5th, 8th, and 12th had ended in failure.
Absolute trigger warning.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Communication between most legions has broken down entirely. Most of the 10th's conscripts have deserted, leaving their forces severely depleted. That is why, unable to continue the fight on their own, they and their allies turned to the Grand Company of Eorzea for aid.
Lies! Every word!
It is the truth, and I have not finished. The 10th has requested that we deliver a message to Lord Quintus. Have the ill stand down.
You have been listening, my lord? What are your orders?
Inform her that we will honor the 10th's decision. Bereft of hope, and now dignity. I release you from your duty. All of you. I take solace, your radiance, in the knowledge you are not here to witness our debasement. 'Twas a grand, glorious dream we shared. Of a world united, of peace and prosperity.
That radio.
We are ghosts, you and I, memories of days gone by. Bonds forged in blood that I will not see tarnished.
Oh boy. Yep, I think we all know where this is going. So yeah, absolute warning.
Back out if you do not want to see anything. There's only one thing.
Quickly! We have to reach the station before it's too late.
If there is still a chance that Quintus will agree to a truce, we must take it.
Oh god, they're still so full of hope.
I just hope we get there before he and his men do something rash.
Oh boy. Hey, Final Dragoon, thank you for the first time chat. Yep. Blood in the middle of the chains. So friggin' dark. Honor just matters that much to him. Is this the long quest that we have left? Like. Yeah. Continue a bit more? Okay. I'm Pippin. Sadu. So ready to kill. When we reach in the cold, that's when we need to stop. Okay. Much and more has occurred since last we met. As for determining what comes next, we must speak with Lord Quintus. Before we proceed, tell me what you know of the First Legion and disposition of their forces. They were preparing for war while the refugees in their care were left to go hungry, a reckless, short-sighted plan that risked the welfare of the people they are sworn to protect. Nevertheless, we cannot compel them to accept our aid. If we were to arrive in force with the intent to do so, we would only incite panic, but perhaps they could be persuaded to follow one of their own. Go with Euless back to the station and have him lead the refugees here. Some may be unwilling or unable to leave, but for the time being, I'll take what I can get. Alphino, Alea, and the scouts have sent to extricate them should already be at the station. I will also have our other comrades in the area lend their support should it be needed. Understood. According to Soth, this is as harsh as the expansion gets, Amy. You don't think?
No, not what I've been already warned about. Hey, drive off without me?
Oh, sorry. Hop in.
For me personally, there's much worse coming.
Oh, really?
But that's because of my own traumas.
So Amy has some more stuff coming apparently, but I have no idea what that might entail. We are still quite early in this expansion. Maybe a third of the way through at best. But it certainly does feel like a finale. Or like just under 25%. What a long drive. Can we cut across here? Yeah, I think we got some snow tires. It's surprisingly hardy for the type of car it is. Even though the Final Fantasy XV begins with it breaking down. Well, they got Cindy, excuse me. It should be Sydney, but Cindy to help fix it up. I know. Sydney is such a better name for her than Cindy. I don't know why they did that. Though I think you'd hate her design, Amy. Maybe, I'm not sure.
So she just have like boobs out, short shorts?
Yeah.
Why would I hate that? She's very misty from Pokemon.
Very misty. I guess that's true.
I thought she was cute.
Alright. Milan and Euless. We arrived just before you did, and too late. Too late for what? What's happened? It's Lord Quintus. He took his own life. After the news about the 10th, he relieved us of our duties. Then when he was alone, he... No, he wouldn't. Thancred and the others, assisted by the soldiers, have seen to the remains. In due course shall the legatus be afforded a proper burial. He released us from our duty. He wanted us to be free to choose our own fate. Without him to guide us, I have just this moment spoken with Lucia. We are ready to commence the transfer of the refugees here to Camp Broken Glass, should they be willing to accept our aid. Some would rather die, but most of us just want to live. Songs and standards be damned, we just want to live. We'll need to speak with the refugees. They'll have to decide for themselves if they wish to come with us. If anyone would prefer to stay, we can have supplies brought over for them. It'll be a hard journey for the others, but we'll see that they reach our camp safely. What?
You don't see me.
Oh, I'll be honest, when I saw that, I thought that was like, I'm like, oh, I didn't realize this was an instance, like that you want to go into another area. That's what it looked like to me. Oh my god. That is amazing. I saw the headlights and that's all I thought. It was just...
Join the party.
I'm trying to get in your car. Oh wait, I have my car. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm in. Convoy. We're here for the Carvoy. We're here for the the characters. Oh god, it is like a funeral procession. It was only ever a dream, wasn't it? To think we could reclaim it, rebuild it all ourselves. Before this all began, I sent my wife and daughter away to the provinces. If there's a chance I might see them again, I'll take it. So take me with you, please. There's Queso again. Well, I got the Aetheryte sorted in the end. All it did was a few adjustments, and now it works as well as it ever did. From what I can tell, the one in Lantarum is also functioning as normal. That's where you lot are staying, isn't it? Now that most of us are packing up and leaving this place, I reckon there'll be more use for me and my skills over at your camp. And with that done, let's there we go. Did you attune with the Aetheryte? I was too busy reading. Let's see what Alphinaud has to say. Oh, they're in the room. Looks like this is...
It's nice to see some people accept aid.
Mm-hmm. They had that one strand of hope. And,
Why do we have to go in here?
Mm-hmm. That's you, the one who treated me with such kindness. I heard from the others that you're not from around here. I thought you were one of us. Not that it makes much difference now. Purebloods, migrants, savages. After a while, the words start to lose meaning until all you're left with is anger and fear and hate, and I'm too tired. If you and yours have come to offer aid, I'd be glad to accept. Yep, they're all just tired. And in our own time, we'll be able to properly explore this place so we can fly. Because I feel like it's going to be properly open. We have much to discuss. Our rescue, the attack on Camp Broken Glass, what we'd hoped to talk about with Quintus. But all of that can wait. More urgent matters demand our attention. Are any of the refugees willing to come to our camp? Thank the 12. Thank the 12. You and I should go first and secure the route back to Camp Broken Glass. With all the creatures and tempered skulking about, I expect we'll have our hands full. This should come in handy. Conqueror's Chain, courtesy of our Lumensian friends. I'll save it for the tempered, though.
Allie woke up with a start and she just meowed like crazy.
Maybe she had a bad dream. I'll mark a few points that need surveying on your map. Once you've taken care of the riffraff, we'll meet back at our camp. Alright, off we go. Oh yeah, what's this thing you have to say? Alright, time to find these places. And I guess that'll be the end of the quest. Callie Owls, yeah.
Oh, they could hear her?
Mm-hmm.
She woke up with a start and then just started meowing like crazy. She's stretched on the floor now. So.
What?
She snuggled with me almost the whole stream.
Oh, that's nice. She was there to comfort you.
And then left when I was sad.
She had her own little nightmare. It's definitely a sobering set of quests. I'm assuming once we get out of Garlemald, but I don't know how long that's going to be. I assume we have to return to Garlean at some point. Back in our cars. There are moments of levity, but it's the heaviest expansion by far. I mean, I guess it's the conclusion. And
Conclusion doesn't have to be heavy.
well, look, imagine if you were playing 1.0 and you saw how that ended with Bahamut coming out and although I don't think you would have played 1.0.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, we have to use the thing on him. The Conqueror's Chain. Because we don't want to kill the Tempered. Oh yeah, there were definitely some funny moments in this set, but I think they realized they needed it. Ishgard has nothing on this place. This whole situation in Garlemald, with Garlemald would happen regardless. Oh, no threats. Oh, I forgot to get in the car. Oh well. I guess with this, both countries that Solus started it, here are pretty much done. Although I think Garlemald will rebuild for the better. Guess we'll see. I know. It's so funny. Though some can fly. Yep. Ah, there you are. As expected, I ran into a few beasts who went down without much of a fight. The Tempered proved somewhat troublesome, but those chains should keep them under control until our allies take them into custody. With that taken care of, I'm to gather a few supplies and then return to the station. While I see to that, would you mind apprising Lucia of our progress? As it happens, I have some rather pertinent information from our recent scouting forays, but I'll save that for later. First things first and all that. Good, we're making Amy laugh. This is the important part. We gotta we gotta cheer her up. What's that? That's probably a quest, but I'm not gonna do those on stream. Just to keep us moving forward. We can do that off on our own time. No worries. Milan, I was informed of Quintus's suicide. It must have come as a great shock to his men. What are the refugees? I'm told that some were receptive to our proposal, but I would hear of your first-hand account. That so many did not hesitate to accept proves how desperate their situation has become. We'll do our best to make them feel welcome. The troops who participated in the ambush are no exception. They will be afforded the same treatment as any other refugees, perfidy notwithstanding. After all, even if I wanted to make an example of them, there's no one left to learn from it. We will tell our allies that these soldiers were acting under direct orders of their legatus, and that following his suicide they offered a full and unconditional surrender. Perhaps Quintus thought that had he lived, he would be tried as a war criminal, and his men punished with him. Perhaps by taking his own life, he hoped to absolve them of any culpability. Or perhaps, like too many others, he was a true believer to the end. Who can say? I didn't know the man or his heart. His reasons, noble or otherwise, died with him, and falls to us to clean up the mess. Alright, I believe this next one is the big one that you guys were telling us about. Yeah, In from the Cold. So we'll leave it there. This is a good place to stop, I'd say. Plus it puts us at 3 hours anyway. So yeah, next time we see what this big instance will be, and probably get to the next duty. So that's exciting. And have to see what all it has to be. But yeah, we'll be back for more Final Fantasy XIV on Wednesday. So you can look forward to that. Some people have a lot of feelings about this quest. Oh boy. Tomorrow, and as a reminder, tomorrow, rather than Thursday, will be the Yakuza 0 stream at 9 o'clock. That's because my mom will be visiting on Thursday. So just, you know, want to be able to spend time with her rather than stream. So we'll be doing just switching up those days. And yeah, then on Sunday will be the beginning of our Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor Overclocked playthrough. So we can look forward to that. And yes, Sonic Joe, tomorrow I will be streaming. So yeah, that's that. Let's see who we can raid real quick, if anybody's available. Oh boy, all kinds of people. Let's see. We've got Blueberry playing Majora's Mask, Momo Pokemon playing Kingdom Hearts 3 with her dance pad, Fushi playing Twilight Princess, Phenomon playing Unicorn Overlord, and Master Wuggles playing Sea of Thieves with One Piece music. Any preferences? It is not the PC port. She's playing for the first time off of the NSO. So, seeing a vote for Twilight Princess to raid Fushi, we can do that. As for our raid, all right. I don't know. This is in reference to everybody hanging out with us. Cool party. It's just a reference to that from Mr. Freeze and Batman Robin. Did you ever see that? All it is the ice puns the entire movie. He shows up, it's like, cool party. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger voice. Anyway, that's what we'll do. We'll raid Fushi. And yeah, that'll be that. It's our first time playing. Exactly, that's how it is. It's our first time playing Twilight Princess, so it should be interesting. Otherwise, though, yeah, thank you all so much for joining. Really do appreciate it. Hope to see you tomorrow for some Yakuza 0 or on Wednesday for more Final Fantasy XIV. So until then, everyone, take care. Bye.
Thank you.